Hello, guys. This is Mark Saint, and this is Brazil Unsubtitled podcast. This is episode number two. For those who don't know, Brazil Unsubtitled is a channel on YouTube to talk about everything people want to know about Brazil, but of course, using the American English language. On the episode number one, we had a daily roundup and we talked about what's going on in Brazil. Unfortunately, only bad news, only talking about the pandemic and all the. But today is going to be something lighter, I promise you, because we're going to talk about the differences of living in Sao Paulo and living in Rio. Or to be more precisely, we're going to talk about what a carioca, a guy who was born in Rio, feels like by living in Sao Paulo. I have with me the pleasure of receiving my friend. His name is Gustavo Novaes. Gustavo is a guy. Are you there, Gustavo?
Yes, I'm here, Mike.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm okay. First of all, thanks for accepting the invitation, for taking me up to the offer.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Man, yeah, so that in order for people to understand how we got to know each other, I went to Rio one day to have a TOEFL test. For those who don't know, TOEFL is a test of English as a foreign language. I had some projects, right? And it was necessary for me to go and have this the only place for me to do that. So on my way back, on the bus, coming to Sao Paulo, I met this guy. This guy sat by my side. We started up a conversation, and we've been friends ever since, right, man?
Yes. This
It's been like what,
uh,
almost 2 years.
2 years ago, 2018. Yes,
2000, yeah, 2019, buddy.
19. Sorry. We
2019,
are in.
yeah. It was August 21st. I have a good memory.
Yes,
August 21st, 2019.
you are right. How time goes fast. We are in 2021. So like
Mhm.
2 years ago. Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
So that people understand a little bit, talk about yourself for our listeners, please.
So my name is Gustavo. I'm 41, 42 years old actually. Uh, April 2nd, uh, I was 22. I am living in Sao Paulo since last November. I came, I didn't came straight from Rio. I was working last year in Minas Gerais,
Hmm.
and so I came from Minas. My wife's family is from Minas, and I came from Montes Claros. It's Minas Gerais, north of Minas Gerais.
Okay.
So so first we rent an Airbnb here in São Paulo for 1 week,
Uh-huh.
and then we rent a flat in Consolação. This Airbnb we rent in Jaguaré, and then 1 week, 1 month at Consolação, and then we rent a house here in Santana. So
Okay. Santana, for those who don't know, is the north side of the city of São Paulo, right? São Paulo is gigantic, it's a big metropolis, and Santana is in the north, right?
yes, yes.
Of
Uh,
the city. Okay.
the reason I'm here is because my doctor, she's 3 years old. She's Her name is Sophie, and she's having a medical treatment in Higienópolis, in Samaritana Hospital.
Okay. Hmm.
So she has how can I say, a renal.
She's 6 years old.
Three, three.
Ah, she's 3 years old. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and
Sophie.
and,
Beautiful picture. I'm gonna see
and
if I can put for you the people who are following.
okay.
She's a
Uh,
beautiful girl.
she has a uh, renal. How can I say, disease?
A condition. Yeah, I think it's more like a condition, no?
Yes, condition. It's a better
Uh-huh.
word. Yes.
Okay.
Uh, and we and we decided that Sao Paulo is the best place. Actually, there is nowhere in the world she can have this treatment exactly for her wage and age. Just here in Sao
Are you
Paulo.
serious?
Yes.
So if she lived in Los Angeles, she wouldn't be able to have the same treatment.
For her age and for her weight, no, no.
Wow. And the only hospital that does that is Samaritano.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Sabará is going to start this this kind of hemodialysis, but I think it's
Hmm.
next year.
Okay.
So the reason actually we quit our jobs to be here
Hmm.
for to save
It
her.
requires full-time attention. No, Gustavo.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
If you
Has she
see,
gone through surgery?
yes, she had like 5 surgeries. Two in Rio and the other ones here. If someone looks at her, uh, looks at Sophie, you're gonna think that she's normal because she doesn't look like she has these conditions because it's
Okay.
really inside her, you know.
Hmm.
And she's speaking English, so
She's pretty smart as and happy as any other kid is, right?
yes, yes,
That's very cool.
yeah.
And how is the treatment going?
The treatment is going very well. Uh,
Mm.
she's reacting well, you know. For example, in a surgery, the doctors they planned, for example, a 10-hour surgery, and in 6 hours the
Okay.
surgery is
It was
over.
done.
It was done. Okay.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
She's such
All the
a
reactions.
warrior, right? So young and
Yes.
so such a princess and such a warrior.
Yes.
So happy
Yes.
to live and to be with her parents. I have seen this.
Yes. And she's oh my God, she's really the our our power to live
Yeah, I believe. The reason to live, right?
to live in São Paulo, you know.
So first you said, first you said that the reason for you guys to be here, to be in Sao Paulo, is the treatment that your daughter is undergoing at the moment, right?
Yes.
Okay, I would say that this is reason number one, I believe. But I remember a couple of months ago when we were having a conversation, you said that Sao Paulo was a city that you had always dreamed of living. Do
Yes.
you remember that?
Sure, for sure.
Could you
Ye-
explain why?
Yeah.
Because look, first of all, where in Rio were you born and where did you grow up? Where did you live before you came to Sao Paulo?
I used to live in Niterói. It's just across the at the other side of the bridge. It's Rio de Janeiro state, but it's in the other side of the
Uh-huh.
bridge. For university, I lived in Resende. So
Okay.
for almost 6 years. Since
Resende is countryside of the city.
yes, yes. It's
Okay.
about 108 kilometers from Rio,
Hmm.
from downtown Rio.
Okay.
So for 6 years, from 1997 until 2003, I lived in Resende, and then I came back again to Niterói, and I used it to work in Rio. So the city where I was born is in Niterói.
Gustavo,
Yes, I'm here.
do you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
do you hear
Sorry,
me?
you said that the city where I was born.
Is Niterói.
Okay.
Is Niterói.
And okay, but and you lived in Niterói before you came.
Yes,
That was your
yes.
last place, the place where you had your apartment.
Uh, it was in Monte Claros, north of Minas, last year. But before
No, no, I
Monte,
mean in Rio. In Rio, the place where you had your apartment was Niterói.
yes, was Niterói.
Okay. And why exactly did you want to or you always wanted to come to Sao Paulo? What was attractive for you as far as the city is concerned?
Oh, I would say all this multicultural city, like graffitis and
The arts.
the arts, a thousand of restaurants here. This diversity, I would say, uh, captivated myself.
And it's not the same in Rio. Because Rio is, I believe, the second biggest city in the whole country of.
Yes, you also have it, but I think Rio, some from years to now, Rio, the violence is increasing. All the corruption there, it's a little bit increasing, and uh, uh, I think São Paulo has uh, like if you hire service here, they respect you more. You understand? They try
Okay.
they do themselves better. They're better to be there at time. It doesn't happen too much in Rio.
They try harder, right?
Yes, yes. Of course, the competition
So
here is bigger, but
you have always lived in Niterói,
yes,
but you got to know the city. For those who don't know, guys, because Rio is worldwide famous, but there is a big bridge that connects the city of Rio to the state of Rio, which where Niterói is the first, I believe, the first county, the first city, right? As soon as you cross the whole Rio Niterói bridge, I think the first city is Niterói, no?
yes. It's
Okay,
13 kilometer bridge.
okay, so it's a 13. It's pretty long. I've been there a couple of times before.
13.
So you
Yes.
probably know the city. You probably know the city very well, no?
Yes.
The city of
Yes.
Rio, where the tourists go and people are in love and stuff.
Yes. Yes. I know. I know.
Okay, and what do you feel about the city of Rio? You said okay, you feel that the services are not performed the way that you wanted, correct? There's no respect for
Yes.
timing. What
Yes.
else? The corruption, you said, all the scandals that the city got involved in the period of the Olympics.
Yes. Actually, the city is
What else did you feel deteriorating?
actually the city is beautiful. The Rio,
It
you have
is.
Copacabana, Ipanema. Uh, Actually, it's beautiful. But uh, if I, when I was in Rio, I didn't feel so safe to walk on the street there.
Mhm.
This is I think it's an important stuff.
Yeah, you know, guys, this is a born and raised guy from the state of Rio de Janeiro. Everybody has a different impression. It's very important to say that, right,
Yes, of
Gustavo?
course.
For example, here in Sao Paulo, there are people that have been robbed three, four times. I have never been robbed in the city of Sao Paulo, and I hope to stay that way, right?
Yes,
I hope to stay that way. But we're talking about perceptions, okay? The world is perceived in different forms. Gustavo didn't feel safe in Rio, and you have your reasons, I believe, right?
Yes.
And do you feel the same about Sao Paulo? Because you've been here for a while already,
Like
no? 3 months or
since
something?
November, five months.
And how do you feel going? I mean, okay, we are living a pandemic. You probably didn't get to stay in the city before, but how do you feel like going around?
I feel safer. I feel actually I feel safer than there than in Rio.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay, and that includes different times of the day, the night,
yes,
for example.
yes, including the whole
Okay.
day.
What is the biggest difference when it comes to the two cities, man? Because I think say security is one of them you mentioned. What else can you say that is for you is always a surprise when you walk around?
I think here and there you have traffic jams, both. But
Hmm.
I think here is more well organized. Like
Hmm.
there, you see car crossing, and you see people like uh, not respecting too much. These I feel better here. The
Like they get the red light and stuff.
yes, yes,
Hmm.
they have
Okay.
more respect here with the other people driving.
Hmm. Okay. And what do you say about the cost of living here in Sao
It
Paulo? Is it cheaper? Is it more expensive than Niterói? What do you say? Than Rio?
I would say the same. They are both high costs to live.
Hmm.
To live.
And what is number one high cost for you? Is it the rent? Is it the food?
No,
What is the heaviest, the heavy weight of your budget?
yes, the rental of the house rental here. For food, no, I don't think so. We have a healthy food there. Uh, Here, sorry.
Uh-huh.
On Sundays, we go to here in Santana. We go to like a natural market on the streets, a traditional, uh,
Hmm.
and you find it
Okay.
every day. So in
Ah, so in Rio it's just one day. There's like a street market for you to buy healthy food, but in São Paulo you
yes,
find every
there.
day.
I think if you try to find, you're gonna find the on different districts. You're gonna find too. But I think here is
Hmm.
easier to find. I have the relation,
Oh,
and it's really a good price.
uh-huh.
It's really good price here.
I
So
think there is a street, a whole street here in São Paulo that is, I mean, in São Paulo you have a street for everything, right, Gustavo? You
yes,
have a street for you to buy clothes, another one for you to buy electronics. There is a street, if you guys know, please leave a comment if you're watching on the video, of course. There is a street only to sell nuts.
yes,
I think the name is Rua dos Cerealistas.
yes. I have not.
Because cereal, cerealista cereal.
Yeah, I have not been there yet, but a lot of people told me about.
But you have
Yes, I
heard
have
of that.
heard. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Different streets to sell everyone. São Paulo is it's it happens here actually.
One more thing I want to ask you is still concerning security. Uh, I think cariocas, again, people who were born in Rio, Paulistas, people who were born in Sao Paulo, cariocas feel there was a degradation, a decrease on the quality of the services of the city and the state. in the past 6 years, the governor was arrested. I forgot the name of that guy, man. Do you remember him? The governor
Eduardo
was
Paes.
arrested. Eduardo Paes was
Ah,
the
yes,
mayor,
yes.
was the big guy that was friends with Lula.
Pezão,
I forgot his name.
Sérgio Cabral, yes.
Sergio Cabral. So during Sergio Cabral's mandate, you had a lot of money stolen from the public
Yes.
safe, right? And the cariocas that I talked to, they complain. They say that from that period on, things have really gone down. And I remember an interview with Flávio Augusto. Flávio Augusto da Silva is one of the billionaires we have in Brazil. He owns Orlando soccer team nowadays.
He wants Wise Up, the English course.
Exactly. Exactly. When people asked him in his social media, people asked him, "Hey, would you come back to Brazil?" And he said, "At the moment, I don't have any plans to do so." But people asked him, "In case you did, would you go back and live in Rio again?" And he said, "No. The place I would go is Sao Paulo." And people asked him, "Why would you live in Sao Paulo instead of Rio?" And he said, well, he numbered a series of things, right? Education, security, blah, blah, blah. Some people consider this a little exaggerated. Now that you are living in the city of Sao Paulo, do you agree with
About
him?
security.
About these elements, security and all the other
Yes, I
aspects that
agree.
are better.
I agree with him. Yes. Yes. The question is important because I am really living here, so I can. Uh, I'm. Yes, I'm
You
telling
can
what I
tell,
feel.
right? For
You
sure.
know.
Yes, because the purpose of this podcast is not to run down Rio, right? We're not criticizing because for me it's the most beautiful city in the whole
Yes.
world. But we're talking about perceptions between these two cities,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And Gustavo, what is your take? What is your opinion when I say that Sao Paulo is not very well known abroad? Some people say it's the most underrated city in the whole world. That means not many people know about it.
But you're saying about come, they know, but they don't come. Oh,
No, they really don't know the existence of
oh
Sao
my
Paulo.
God.
I have a, for example, I have a friend. His name is Neo. He has an interview on
Okay.
the channel. If you haven't seen, click up here for the people who are following through YouTube. He came here for the first time in December. I think he stayed in Rio until January, and then in January he came to Sao Paulo and stayed 1 month. And I have this part on the channel. He was impressed. He was flabbergasted by the size of the city. He filmed and took pictures to send to his folks, to his family, back in New York. Because the people in New York have no idea there is a city like Sao Paulo in Brazil with this size.
Yes, this is São Paulo is the biggest in South America, I think. Biggest city. Yes.
South America, but not very
Sorry.
popular though. Not very popular.
Okay. Okay.
Not many people know about Sao Paulo.
Okay.
And when you show pictures and videos of the towers, people say, "No, this is not Brazil. This is not Brazil. It can't be." Like Neo said, Marcelo, I am in an extent of New York. That's the impression that I have.
Okay. He compares to New York.
Yes, there are some places that are very similar. He said, but it's not very famous, right? What I'm trying to say is when people think of Brazil, people think of Rio. That's the first image that comes to their minds, and it's pretty understanding. We're talking about natural beauties. I don't think you're gonna want to travel to see a city, just asphalt and pavements and stuff,
Yes.
right?
Actually, beach is more attractive.
More attractive, of course. But what would you say is an attraction for tourists here? If we have tourists listening to you, like
We have
foreigners.
here like some parks, also Ibirapuera Park. We have here. Uh, can you believe that I heard people saying that they thought
Mm.
that would be no houses in Sao Paulo,
No
just
house, just
buildings.
buildings.
Actually, I heard that because because I drove here
Okay.
for apps, and a passenger told me
Uh-huh.
she, I think she was from north of Brazil, and she said, "Oh,
Okay.
I saw some houses here, some beautiful houses. It's
I live
yeah,
in a
it's
house, my friend.
unbelievable. I also live in a house.
I live in a house and I am in the south
Okay,
of the city. We are surrounded by
okay,
towers, of course, but there are houses. Actually, there are many neighborhoods that still the houses
yes,
persist, right?
yes,
The houses remain. And you haven't been able to visit all that the city has to offer, right?
yeah. At this
Unfortunately.
time, the pandemic, when I came, the pandemic
Hmm.
was had already started, so I couldn't uh, go wherever I wanted to do it to go. So
But you have been to some exhibits,
yes,
haven't you?
I've been to Museu da Imagem do Som, MIS. It's
Hmm.
I went to John Lennon's exhibition when he lived in New York.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
This was the
Okay.
second time that I've been to MIS. I've been there like years and years ago.
So you arrived in Sao Paulo consuming already the
Yes,
culture.
yes. I like.
Have you ever been to any skyscraper?
I've been to Unique Hotel. You mean uh, you mean the rooftop or no? Yes, I've been
Rooftop, yes.
to the Unique Hotel to have a drink there. It's a beautiful view.
Any Oh, that's oh yes, they have a restaurant on top,
Yes,
right?
I've,
And have you been to Santander? Probably was closed because of the pandemic. It's difficult to talk about that during this period,
yes, I
Gustavo.
understand. The Unique Hotel, I went like 3 years ago. It's not at this time.
Hmm.
So
So this time around, you have just been to MIS, right? The Museum of
the
Heritage.
only place that I yeah.
The only thing. Where do you, which one, which place in São Paulo you like to go whenever you have the possibility, the opportunity with your family? What is a place or a region, a neighborhood that attracts you the most?
I want to like enjoy the Ibirapuera Park. We had never been there yet. With my, I want to go with my family, for example.
Ah,
Not
you
yet.
haven't been
I've
there
been
yet.
there like I went there years ago
Okay.
without my family, and I want to go there at this time with them.
Mhm. Okay. For those who don't know, Ibirapuera is for São Paulo the same as Central Park is
Yes.
for New York. It's big. It has 9 different gates for you to access the park. I can't tell you. We have a video as well. If you're interested, you can go and click and learn more about the park. Just click up there in the card, right? And what are you doing in Sao Paulo, man? I'm not gonna hold your time so much because I know that you have your things. You have your daughter. So what are you doing at the moment in Sao Paulo other than taking care of your beautiful plants?
Actually, we're not doing almost anything because we need to stay at home because of the coronavirus. We actually just
Yes.
on Sunday when we go to the free markets there, we we like go around there. There is a little park there, and we play. With Sophie likes to go there. She asks us to go there, and é,
Where is the market that you go?
Engenheiro Caetano Álvares here in yes here in
Hmm.
Santana North Zone. So we go there every Sunday. And near there, near this street, you have a small park there, and Sophie plays there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
and all the things, almost all the things here in São Paulo are closed now. So yes,
Yes,
yes.
unfortunately. And once this hellish pandemic disappears, or at least to give us a chance of getting back to our normal lives, right? Uh, what are your plans? Like once your daughter's treatment is also concluded, is São Paulo really the place you have chosen for a life, or you're going to look around and search for other
No,
possibilities?
I think I'm gonna stay here because a lot of possibilities here. The Everybody says that São Paulo is the best place uh, for work opportunities here. So
In Brazil, right?
measuring at this time, it's difficult. But I want to find a job here and stay. For me,
Hmm.
I really enjoy the city.
Very nice. For me, it's hard to say anything about São Paulo because people will say I'm defending the city. I live, I was born, but guys, compare. Have you checked the numbers of the security numbers of the cities in Brazil, Gustavo? Have you ever been curious to know
You mean about the coronavirus?
from the most violent to the least violent cities?
No, not yet.
Yeah, they have a measure that is based on 100,000 inhabitants, 100,000. The number of murders or the number of crime by 100,000. São Paulo is one of the least in crime.
Okay.
When you compare to most cities in Brazil, São Paulo is one of the least. It's big, it has a lot of problems, but you still feel a little safer here compared to many other capitals in the state, which is an advantage for a person who has a kid. Like in our case, right? I also have a 6-year-old daughter.
Yes.
So I think that's the first thing you think
And the
of.
numbers don't lie. So this is
Yeah, exactly. I think what I'm saying is public, okay? It's not a lie. If you guys want to really check for yourselves, just check the public numbers. The most violent and the least violent cities in Brazil, São Paulo will be probably the safest. Try different. Put the safest cities in Brazil. Probably São Paulo will be one of the safest. Remember, based on the number of residents, which is really important.
okay.
You probably have seen the number of cars the city
Yes, a
has, right?
lot, a lot.
Is it shocking for an outsider?
For me, no. Actually, no. Uh, for the size of the city, uh, Rio is also a big city, but the number
Mhm.
didn't shock me.
Are you close to a subway where you live?
Yes, we are, but I haven't used the
What?
subway yet because of the all the safe stuff.
Okay. Yes, because of the kid, of
Yes.
course. But you know how good it
Yes.
is, right?
I have already used.
It takes you
Yes.
everywhere.
I have already used the subway some years ago. It's fantastic. Really big.
Mhm. Yes, it is. All right, my friend. Thank you very much for this interview. I took more of your
No.
time than we had settled
No, no
previously,
problem,
right?
man.
He asked me how long. I said 15 minutes, but I'm gonna double with this guy because this guy is special. Do you want to say anything before we wrap up, my friend? For the foreigners, for the listeners?
I would say when this pandemic finishes, come to Sao Paulo. Uh, I would say also come to Rio, but as I'm living here, I would say more about Sao Paulo now. Now, but Rio, as we said, Rio is also a very beautiful city.
It's definitely worth it going there. You know,
Yeah, I would say try to learn Portuguese a little bit. It's interesting.
because people in Rio don't speak English.
Yeah, actually, Brazilians they just 5% of Brazilians speak English. So I think we need to
Yeah,
learn more.
and São Paulo is the same. You know, same
Yes,
difficulty.
yes. That's the reason you are a good teacher, Mike.
It might be, might be. I hope my students are listening. Man, just an addendum to your information. You said that 5% of the population of 210 million people speak English, but only 1% is
Oh
fluent.
my God, 1%.
Yes, this is a survey from the British Council. You can also find this on the internet. The British Council Brazilian fluency in English. You will
One.
see that 1% of 110 million people
Oh my
speak
God.
English. So if you are a privileged guy,
Oh,
definitely.
thanks. Thanks.
You're part of. Gustavo, thank you so much, my friend. You send my regards to your beautiful
Okay.
family,
Thank you.
to your princess, to your wife,
Okay.
and we will meet up soon, as soon as this pandemic gives us
Okay,
the
Mark.
freedom.
Thanks. Send regards also to your family. It was a pleasure to be here, talking with your students,
Thank
with
you.
foreign people here.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity
Okay.
of having you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, man. Stay with me just for me to say goodbye to
Okay.
the people, okay? So, guys, thank you so much for listening to Gustavo, this beautiful person you have heard there. Thanks for watching and listening to one more episode. We will try to have more and more here on the channel or on the streams that you have, the podcast streams that you are listening this from. This is Mark saying this is Brazil and Subtitled Podcast. See you next time.